Welcome to STACHE Sports, episode 23. One of the greatest players to ever wear 23 is Michael Jordan. And yes, I know some people are going to have the debate that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan's NBA Finals stats shows that Michael Jordan is better, in my opinion, than LeBron James. And I think Michael Jordan was a better basketball player, too, and was a better basketball player. And Michael Jordan's Space Jam movie was a lot better than LeBron James' Space Jam movie. Let's just get that out of the way right now, too. But anyway, there was breaking news today in the Major League Baseball when the Los Angeles Dodgers, the back-to-back National World Series champions, signed top rated agent Kyle Tucker to a $240 million contract for 4 years. That's $240 million to play baseball for 4 years for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's a lot of money. This is what's happened. This is, in my opinion, this is what's ruining baseball, because baseball does not have a salary cap. So the higher paid teams like the Dodgers, Yankees, and Mets, and some of these other higher teams can sign these players to hundreds of millions of dollars, while the Pirates can't get that much. While the Pirates and other teams don't have that much money to spend, it's not fair, and they need to have a salary cap to make baseball more fair, in my opinion. But now the Dodgers have 8 players on their current roster that are making over $100 million. That is a lot of players to be making over $100 million to play baseball. This is why baseball needs a salary cap, because we all know every year it's going to be the Dodgers and whoever they decide to play against. Sometimes it might be the Yankees, or sometimes it might be like other teams, but like these lower-ranked teams like the Pirates. And yes, I know the Pirates are in a small market, and I know it's hard for them to make money, but Paul Skeens, who's our top pitcher right now, and probably one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, I don't think he's even making $1 million on his current contract. This is what's wrong with baseball. This is why baseball needs to have a floor and have a salary cap, so teams can start being more competitive. And it's not always the Los Angeles Dodgers or New York Yankees or Mets or whoever in the World Series, and other teams like the Miami Marlins, Pirates, and other teams that are smaller market teams can get in there and make it more competitive. Because this day and age, I think it's just ruining baseball, because you know in hearts, but it's just going to come down between the Dodgers. It's just going to come down between the Dodgers and the Yankees. So that's how, or the Dodgers and whoever they play. And the Dodgers are stacking up to get a third World Series. And yes, I know sometimes in sports runs are good. You like to watch dynasties, but they're just signing them to hundreds of millions of dollars in contract. And I don't think it's making baseball fun anymore. I think it's just the Dodgers and whoever they play, like I said. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. That is a lot of money, in my opinion, to play baseball. To have 8 players over $100 million, that is insane. I don't know. In all the other sports, they don't have that many players because they have a salary cap. And that's why in NBA and NFL and NHL, we get different teams sometimes each year. I know in the hockey, we've had the Florida Panthers won a couple years in a row, but most of the time, that doesn't happen. We have different teams, and we have different teams in football. I know sometimes in football they can have teams go on a big spree, but they don't mostly have a lot of players over $100 million on their team. That is just a lot of money to play baseball, in my opinion. That is a lot of money to play baseball, but we will see what happens with that. Hopefully the Pirates can get some more hitters on the cheap compared to that, so they can maybe be competitive. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Now we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh sports. One of my viewers yesterday said Pittsburgh sports stinks, but hasn't told me who he likes or what teams he likes, so I can talk about them in these videos. But last night, the Penguins took on the Philadelphia Flyers in Pittsburgh. They are a couple spots out of a playoff wild card right now, they said, and they needed a much-needed win. The Penguins started off really fast at scoring with Jason Barzal scoring a goal. And then Brian Rust followed that up later on. And then Sidney Crosby had a goal. And our new Russian guy we got from the Columbus Blue Jackets, the new Russian guy we got from the Blue Jackets had a goal too. He has looked really good from coming over from the Columbus Blue Jackets. I've been quite impressed by this new guy we got from the Blue Jackets and how he's looked. Even No, he gave and Crosby had a goal, and then Crosby had a goal, and 2 other people had a goal. Connor Dewar and Blake Lizotte had the other 2 goals, making the Penguins win 6-3 over much-hated rivals and win the state rivalry between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. A much-needed win last night, and a much-needed win last night, and against a great opponent. It's always great when the Penguins beat the Flyers as a Penguin fan, and have the better hockey team. Sidney Crosby scored yet another goal against the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't think he'll be welcome to Philadelphia anytime soon, knowing that he's one of the players that has the most points scored on one team. Crosby likes to play the Philadelphia Flyers. He knows how to score on them. That's why he's one of the top players who has the most points against that team. Whenever the Penguins play the Flyers, it's a safe bet to bet Crosby will have some kind of point if it's a goal or if it's an assist in the game, because Crosby owns the Flyers. And he does really well when he plays against the Philadelphia Flyers. Even though he gave up 3 goals last night, 2 of them near the end, Stuart Skinner had a heck of a game last night, and it's looking like he is starting to fit in to being a Pittsburgh goaltender. And Alex Sheila has also been good, but last night was Stuart Skinner's night, and Stu had a really good night in the Penguins, even though he let up 3 goals. But the Penguins bounced back after a 3-game losing streak, even though they got 1 point in an overtime loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning a couple games ago. But now we're back to the winning ways and back to a 1-game winning streak. Let's hope this winning streak can continue for the Penguins when they play again on Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's hope that Columbus Blue Jackets player can score against his whole team. Tomorrow we have the NFL wildcard playoffs round, or NFL divisional round. Next round of the playoffs starting tomorrow for football. We will talk about that tomorrow. So glad the Penguins won last night. It was nice to watch a team win and control the ice the way the Penguins controlled the ice last night. Even though they gave up 3 goals, the Penguins looked dominant in that game and looked like a team that could be dangerous if they can make the playoffs. And I know the playoffs are yet far away. I'm pretty soon they're going to have the Olympics and have Team USA versus Team Canada, and see hopefully Team USA can get the gold this year over Team Canada. That's going to be rough with all these superstars, but when the Olympics get closer, I'll start looking at the rosters and making my predictions on who I think is going to win the Olympic Games. It starts in February, I think. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So glad that the hockey NHL is letting the superstars play this year in the Winter Olympics. It's going to make it a lot more interesting to watch USA go versus Canada when we know we have the superstars. Even though a lot of them, like Sidney Crosby, who's my favorite Penguins player, is going to be on Team Canada, I'm rooting for Team USA because I'm a citizen of the United States. And I hope the USA wins the gold this year. But we'll go more into that once that happens. But the Penguins are looking a lot better now after that big win against the much-hated rival, the Philadelphia Flyers. It was nice going into the period and scoring 2 goals and scoring a couple goals right away in the third period. Because as Penguin fans know, when we have a lead in the third period of late, we are not good, and sometimes we blow that lead. But it was really nice last night watching the game and watching a couple goals go in the third period, and knowing to lock down the lead and not blow the lead like we have been in the past. But the Penguins won 6-3, like I said. And also, I think that going back to the baseball talk we were talking about earlier, I do really think that there should be a salary cap in baseball. Because look at all the other sports that have a salary cap. They're all more competitive. There's different teams. Like Oklahoma City Thunder finally won the championship last year. I know they might have some high-paid players on their team, but at least there's a salary cap, so most of the teams are fairly even. And there's not that many teams that are like the Pirates that are, or other teams in baseball, other than the Dodgers or Yankees. It makes them more competitive and more fun to watch. Let's hope that Rob Manfred, the general manager, the owner of the baseball, the manager of MLB can finally get his act together and get a salary cap in baseball. That's what us Pirate fans want. Other fans want is a salary cap. We don't always want to see the Los Angeles Dodgers and New York Yankees in the World Series. We want to see different teams. We want to see these other teams. Fans get excited because baseball is more competitive, and the Dodgers aren't just giving over $100 million to everybody. That is crazy. That's a lot of money just to hit a baseball or pitch a baseball. And yes, I know Paul Skeens might get a big contract if he goes to the Dodgers when he's done to the Pirates. Let's hope it's not anytime soon because Paul Skeens is one of the best pitchers. Let's hope there can be a salary cap in 2027 before he makes that decision so the Pirates have a chance to try to keep him. But like I said, tomorrow we'll talk about the wild card games and who I think is going to win between the Bills or whoever plays tomorrow. I think it's the Bills tomorrow. But whoever plays tomorrow, we'll talk about that tomorrow and my predictions on who's going to win that game. Thank you for watching STACHE Sports and my opinion on baseball and why the Dodgers are ruining baseball because of the salary cap. Because there's no salary cap and they can just spend oodles amount of money. If you have any comments or any concerns, please leave them on my video. Even if you don't like picks for sports, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching my videos and sharing. This is STACHE Sports episode 23, signing off.